Well, hey there, naughty friends. Welcome to part 2 of my little studio redesign. If you missed part 1, I'll be sure to link it down below. Otherwise, let's jump right back into it. So last night I got my order of the little plastic dividers in, and actually, as you can see, I got a head start. They just look like this. They're just like slotted dividers, and then I kind of like cut them. Actually, they snap off pretty well into size, and I got pretty lucky because I knew they were too long by like an inch or two, but I wasn't sure if if I'd be able to get the like ends to match up perfectly. And these are 13 1/4 inch, which is very specific measurement, but just so happens that you can snap these off, 3 of these off, and it ends up at that exact measurement. So that worked out really well. So I did a little test here, and I think overall I'm pretty happy with the final layout, I guess you'd call, or product, if you want to call it. Not 100% perfect, but it is way more organized, and I think once I have everything kind of gradient out and I do all 4 of these, it'll look really cute. Now, obviously this takes up more room than what I had before, where they were just like kind of on top of each other, but as you can see here, hopefully, there is like a little bit of a gapping. Let me try and can you see that? I'm making it worse, aren't I? I definitely am. All right, there we go, hopefully. So you can kind of see there's like a finger or so gap between each, but when I was trying to like divide them all out and things, obviously I can't just like make it perfect because I have to fit the little slots. My brain is a little fried, it's early in the morning, but hopefully you know what I'm saying. This is like the best layout I could come out with. So I'm thinking I'll just go ahead with this. I do have to kind of secure them to each other so that they're not like kind of when I pull something out, if it like gets caught, it doesn't like pull one of the whole slots out. So I'm going to just take like a little piece of tape and just like tape a couple of them together just to stop them from doing that. Or maybe some hot glue, but that sounds messy. I don't know. I think with all of the excess yarn that I'm going to have, all the skeins, the depth of these cubes, I think is 15 or 16 inches. So this only takes like 3 of those. So I have some space to put some things here at the front. And then what I'm thinking is that this shelf, even though it's heavy, it actually like swings out pretty easily. Like I can get behind it kind of thing. So I was thinking of maybe storing the extra yarn behind this, because there's a good, I don't know, like 10 inches probably or so, maybe 8 behind there. You can kind of see, which is a lot of storage room, so why not use it? Because before it was just kind of empty space. So I think I'm going to utilize that somehow, and hopefully it comes together anyways. So once that's all done, we'll finally have this shelf like completed. I also have to finish viniling the bottom, but we won't talk about that yet. And then I really just want to paint. I really want to paint. I would love to do it like right now, but like I said before, I'd have to wait for the weather to be a little bit better so I can put Fiji outside and do it, because I'll probably need to put him out there for a couple days. Oh my god. It has been so hot here. I know I've said that a lot in the previous video, but it is crazy. We're just not Canadians. We're just not built for this kind of heat. Overall, so far, things have been going really nicely. I'm really happy with this new setup already. I'm really liking the way everything's coming together. So it's making me excited and just want to like push through and get it all done. And then hopefully I have some larger projects coming up, so I just want to get this like over with so I can move on to those. For now, I'm just going to keep cutting these down into shape. I have a whole bunch of them, and then we'll start putting some yarn on the shelves. Alright, so all the dividers are in and ready for yarn. Overall, this actually wasn't that difficult. I looked out with a few things like the size of everything just happened to fit properly. And I did do one here in the bottom corner for like chenille yarns, a little bit bigger yarn. So I think we're ready to start adding our yarn into these. I'm going to try and do like a gradient. I'll do cool colors like blues and then greens, then yellows, reds, and then whatever, I don't know, that'll be the top part, and then I have one down there for blacks and like neutrals and things like that. So let's throw in some yarn. Going back to green. Ah! Okay, so I love it. It looks great. It's like scratching that part of my brain that loves things to be organized, and even seeing it on camera is really nice. I am very excited about this. So as you can see, all the yarn has been put away. We have all our colors on top here, and then we have some blacks, whites, beiges, and things there, and a bunch of chenille yarn there. This actually fit a lot more yarn than I was thinking, and it's nice to have the space behind it to store the extras. Overall, I can't stop smiling because it makes me so happy. I think this is going to be such a nice backdrop for everything. Now my scuffed up wall is really standing out. It's going to bother me until I can paint it. I know I've mentioned that a bunch of times, but that's kind of like the final step for this process. And things kind of have to be on hold until that point because I want to decorate a little bit, but I don't want to decorate too much, and I just have to take everything off the walls to paint. So I think I might just like clean up a little bit and get ready for that, and then I can put stuff on the shelf, kind of organize it a little bit. Anything that basically I don't have to take off the walls, so I can set up my desk a little bit more too. It's a little bit of a mess right now. Just get ready for the day where we can paint. Hopefully we don't have to wait too long. Sorry about the terrible mic quality and noises. Fans on and the birds are singing. Anyways, so I have done the first coat of paint on this wall and 2 coats of primer on that wall, and I probably will be painting these sliding doors here, which are chalk paint and I just never use. But quick update, it's going pretty well. The paint's drying fast, which is nice. And what's really difficult is that this color, I wanted it to be very similar to what it was, but it was supposed to be just a little bit darker, which it is, but it goes on the same color, which, as you can imagine, makes things extra frustrating because you have no idea what you're painting or what you've done until afterwards. But yeah, so that's fun, but it's going well. I'm gonna take some lunch and get back to it. Quick update, I just finished doing the 3rd coat of primer on the red wall. I think for the most part it's this wall here. It looks covered. Interestingly enough, you can actually still see the white text in some areas if you look close enough there. So it's not the red that I'm having trouble getting rid of, it's the white, interestingly enough. But I'm hoping with those 3 coats I can then just do the 2 coats of paint on it, and that'll be enough to cover everything, fingers crossed. And then this is still the first coat. I know they look very similar, it's hard to tell the difference. But yeah, this is the first coat of the actual paint. It needs 4 hours to dry. So this here is the other side of the closet that my photo booth is in. So you don't really see this. I never go in here because Fiji's hutch, rabbit hutch, is literally sitting right in front of it, making it kind of hard to get to. However, there is a lot of unutilized space in here. I'm a little bit embarrassed by all this because it's like mostly, I guess, garbage at this point. Some of it, not all of it. A lot of like magazines from when I was in college. A lot of like art history books and things like that, which I'll keep obviously, and then just like soil and things, which when I'm repotting I'll go in here. I still probably will keep this in here because I don't want to like keep it out and about. This is a good space for it, but maybe I'll put it up here, clear some of this stuff up out there, which there's all this space up here and all this space down there. Don't look too close, it's a mess. I do apologize. But yeah, I have like all these cups, which I'm like, I kind of want to keep. I drew on like cups for a while, like a lot of, I don't know, silly art and things. So I'm like, should I keep these? I feel like I want to. I don't know. I don't even know if these are the ones I like the most. That's Deadpool. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna go through it. Don't fall. I'm gonna go through it all, see what I can keep. I have a box here, and then try and reorganize this a little bit better and try and use it for something that actually is useful. I think in the previous video I was talking about books, and this one I kept in a special place because it is very important to me. It's one of my favorite books to read, but also just to have my collection. It is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, which itself is maybe not this special, but it has the like original drawing from him that he did as the cover. It's like the original, I think, version. I'm not entirely sure about that. I can see the person who checked it out. I got this a book from my aunt who used to work at a library. Thank you, Heather. She gave it to me when I was a kid, and I remember this book reading in grade 7, and my teacher didn't think my reading level was high enough, and they had picked The Hobbit to read, and I had already read it at that point because I had one. The problem wasn't that my reading level wasn't high enough, it was that I only read things I was interested in, and I was very interested in this. So he gave me the easier book to read, and I refused, and I did my book report on this, and I did totally fine, so... All right, everyone, the room is all done. It's all painted. Look how nice and clean it is. I mean, it's giving hospital room very sterile, but that's only because we haven't decorated. So I'm excited just to have this part all done. This is definitely like the last hurdle. So I'm glad it's all, that's the red wall, by the way. It actually painted over really well. So I'm pretty happy with that. And I can't wait to get started on decorating. I'm losing my mind. I just put up the shelf, and the shelf looks great. That went well. And then I went to wipe this down, and as I'm wiping it, some black residue, I don't even know what it is, and I like trying to wipe it off. And every time I wipe, it like gets worse. Oh no. It's so nice to have this room finally feeling like a room again and to bring some color back into it. And here's where we're at with the shelf. And I'm really happy with it so far. I think it'll probably change like a million times. But right now, most of the Knotty Bear originals are up here looking super cute, except for some holiday ones. But like I said, I can always change that out, and I definitely will. And then I think once I put the shelf, this is the wall that used to be behind me. I have to put the shelf back up. You can see the holes there. And I'll put all the non-Knotty Bear original stuff there, and maybe like one or two down here on the cube shelves or something. But yeah, I'm super happy with it. So all the hard stuff is done, and all that I have to really do now is like clean up, organize, and finish decorating. Bring Fiji back, see what he thinks of it. I'll probably do that tomorrow. I'm not in a rush now. I have everything kind of, my desk cleaned and all this looking awesome, so I can start working again. But I'm gonna go do all that, and then I will bring you back in a day or two to show you the final reveal. If you want a full studio tour, definitely let me know in the comments below. Maybe I'll make it a separate video. Oh, hi, what are you doing here? You want to come in and see the new studio? Oh, well, I wasn't expecting anyone, but I guess I could make some time. Come on in. Okay, that's it for the bit. That's all you get. In all seriousness, let's go check out the new space. This is probably the cleanest it'll ever be, seeing that everything is nice and new and fresh. I do have a couple things that I want to change, mostly decorating things. There's some like white walls and stuff you'll see. I want to like collect some things and put some art up there. But for now, I'm super happy with it and I can't wait to show you everything. So let's start off with the wall behind me here. Over here, this wall. So this wall here, some of you may recognize, this is the wall that used to be behind me in all of my videos. I kept the same shelf here as before. I just removed the floating shelf above it. Honestly, this space will probably change. I might add a shelf back. I just needed that one for the new background, which we'll get to in a second. However, I'm pretty happy with this. I used the Studio Ghibli Advent Calendar box as part of the display. And like I said, we'll be constantly adding to this and figuring it out as we go. But it's no longer the backdrop, so it's not super important. And we kind of have the same setup below it here. Ignore the giant project that is coming out at some point. But we have the little chair here, which I just put a blanket on top of. We have some plushies in the corner, which Snorlax has been moved to the bedroom. I think he looks cute there, so I just leave him there for now. We have another giant amigurumi incoming, so don't worry too much about that. And of course, as always, we have our sleepy feed. Hi, buddy. Unbothered as always. He doesn't care about the studio right now. He's just happy to be back inside. But yeah, that is the wall shelf there. I have my like tote display area. I have some new merch I'm working on that I want to add to that. So stay tuned for all that. Next to that here, we have the dish rack wall yarn holder thing that I made. I did a little video on it like maybe like 6 months ago or something, maybe more. I got it from IKEA. This doesn't have as much of a purpose now that we have an actual yarn storage. However, I think aesthetically it still looks good. I did have to borrow some of the skeins off of here to fill up that. So I might have to buy some more, but I don't want to just buy some just to have it on display. I think it still looks good. It still has a purpose and everything. So I left it there as is. If I could have gotten it in white, maybe I probably would have. However, it gets covered by yarn anyway, so it's not a big deal. But enough of all that, let's check out the new yarn shelf, the new backdrop for all the Knotty Bear videos here, which I'm absolutely obsessed with. So as you can see up here, I have all the Knotty Bear original amigurumi, which I'm adding to slowly, so I'm okay, that's a little bit sparse looking. But they're all here in their glory. We have Lucia, my newest one, which hopefully at the time of this video coming out, she should have a release date. I think it's very soon, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I am so happy with this little area here. We have some decorations. I want to get some more books and I want to put some like cute little crochet stuff and notions around there when we get to it. I'm sure just like the other spaces, this will also change quite a bit. I want to get some art for the walls and things like that, so it's not super white. And then if you watched the part one, you know how we made all of this. There's actually some yarn storage behind here, which is great. And then down here, I just have like paperwork and books and things like that, and more yarn, of course. And don't look too closely because I actually didn't finish vinyling that. Shh. I'll get to it at some point one day. It's not super important. I never really looked down there. It doesn't bother me. The important part is what's on camera. It looks very nice and I'm pretty happy with it. I love these little Ghibli, I think they're supposed to be coasters, but they almost coordinate to like the blue and then the greens, yellows, like yellow and red kind of thing, which I'm kind of obsessed with. I also have lots of little like Ghibli notions like this. I think it's supposed to be like a soy sauce. Hopefully you can get in there. So needless to say, I am super happy with this new setup and this new backdrop here. I absolutely love it. When I first went into this, I wasn't 100% sure if it would turn out the way I was thinking, and I think it like beat my expectations, to be honest. There's so much stuff I can do with all this, and even though there are some white walls like this one here, which I don't absolutely love, it gives me like an opportunity to put some art there, maybe some crochet work, or maybe I'll find a local artist to get to do like a print or something. I also have a few new plants, so let me introduce you to them. So I'll keep this part brief for those of you who don't really care about my plant collection. I only have a couple. In the first part, you would have seen me, I put this one up. I've had this one for probably 4 years now. It is a philodendron. I don't know what type. I think it's just called like a green leaf or something. But I love the way it kind of like starts at the top and like cascades down, and it always remains so full and everything. I absolutely love it. And I have some of my Studio Ghibli stained glass, which I'm still absolutely obsessed with. I have 3 of them. Do not mind my messy backyard. That's my favorite. And then here we have a new plant, which I've actually owned before, this type. This is a peperomia, which is my favorite type of plant, especially houseplant. They're just so cute. This one's called Red Log. I don't know if it's showing up, but it has like red undersides, and then the tops are like this beautiful green. I love this type of plant. It's one of my favorites, like I said. Then down here we have, I believe this is a aglaonemia. It's one of the pink ones, Valentine's or something. I've had this one probably 6 years, honestly. We've been through it a little bit. It's gone up and down, but it's come back really nice this year, and I absolutely am obsessed with those pink leaves. Next to it, we have another plant that I've had a couple times. This, I believe, used to be called a calathea, but then they switched it to geopertia, I think is how you say it. It's known as the rattlesnake plant, or also as a prayer plant, as some of you may know, because the leaves tend to move during the day to capture the light, and it looks like they're kind of praying, which is beautiful. I love it because they're just so beautiful. Technically, prayer plants are a little bit annoying to keep. They can be really sensitive to a lot of things, but I find the rattlesnake one is a little bit more durable than the other ones, so I enjoy having them around. And then over here, we just have, I believe it's a Sansevieria. It's a samurai, I think is the common name. This is here for the purpose of this video and for what I like it to be here, but it needs more sun than it gets here. And then of course, like any good millennial, I have a Lego plant in here because those are all the rage right now. I feel like in 20 years from now, we're all gonna have those Lego flowers, and it's gonna be seen as like almost like silk flowers are now, where they feel like super dated and old. I think that's like Lego flowers, it could be that. But right now, I still really love them. All right, everyone, last kind of area to show off. Maybe I'll show out the photo booth too, but you've kind of already seen that. But it is, of course, the desk, which I love. I'm obsessed with this. So this is the current desk setup, and I'm so much happier with this setup. I love facing the door, and I love having the window right next to me. And this desk, the main selling point for me was the size of it. I have lots of room over here for yarn and my notebook and things like that. I have my computer here, and I even fit the Cricut on it. So I'm super happy with this. I've only used the crank standing desk option like maybe once. I don't foresee myself using it a whole bunch. However, like I said in the previous video, I bought this more for the size and everything. The crank function was just kind of an added benefit, if you will. Next to me here, I did keep this shelf, which used to have all that yarn, you know, the one you saw in the last video, and it still has yarn on it. However, it's a little bit more organized. Not everything needs to be like super aesthetically pleasing all the time. And like I said, this is probably the most organized this room will ever be. Speaking of, I didn't end up painting these closet doors. I might in the future, however, they're kind of fine for what they are. At least the closets inside are super clean now, which is always nice. It's one of those things you think about forever, and then once you finally get it done, it's like, why didn't I do this sooner? Things like having this little photo booth area functioning and just easy to drop amigurumi in there and take a photo without any fuss or trying to figure out the right lighting and things like that is just such a big win for me. I'm loving having more plants in the office. I obviously love plants. They just bring the space to life a little bit more and give it a little bit more character. So I'm super happy we got to bring some more of those in here. I'm just so happy with the way it has all turned out with just a little bit of paint, some revinyling, reorganizing. It really does go a long way. Definitely let me know in the comments below though, what was your favorite part of the redesign? If you have any suggestions for what I can do with this empty wall here, definitely let me know down in the comments. Thank you everyone for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to give me a thumbs up. As always, a huge thank you to my Patreon members. Thank you for being here and for your support. I really could not do this without you, so thank you so much. But that's it for me. I will see you in the next one. Until then, stay naughty, friends. Bye. Words. Closet doors. I didn't end up... This isn't the most aesthetically pleasing. However, it's more form over function, really. But thank you everyone so much for watching this video. If you liked it, definitely give me a thumbs out.